I wanted to share something that happened to me this weekend that really irked me. And it might seem like a small thing, but there's a market, like a farmer's market that we go to that is just a couple minutes away from our house. And there was this guy that was just a loud Californian and quite an intense personality that was selling some drink with it seemed like every fashionable ingredient known to man. And he was just talking about this elixir and how good it was for you, and asking if I wanted to take a shot, if I wanted to take a shot in it. And then on some of his signage, I saw a dragon and, like, you know, the chakra, and I was like, I don't think I want to take this. And then he kept, like, he was just like pouring the shot, and I felt inside of me that I wanted to say no. And yet, next thing I know, I was drinking down the shot and then another one, and it really irritated me that I didn't say no to him. Needless to say, I did not buy this product. But I thought, what is in me that was not able to say no in that moment? And I think it's really worth looking at that. And I wonder, you know, if you're watching this, you think, yeah, I would have easily said no. And if I was watching somebody talk about this, I'd be like, I would have definitely said no. And there's many times where I can say no, but in that moment, I felt like I couldn't say no. And I was like, wow, how is that affecting me in life if I'm often feeling like I can't say no? And actually on a daily basis, probably there's things where I feel like, oh, well, I should do that. I feel guilty for saying no, but should I do it anyway? And I think that's a real problem, especially if you've been under narcissistic abuse or in controlling relationships. Often your no is taken away from you at a very early age, usually, where you simply were not allowed to say no. And I think this is very interesting, and I'm just excited to actually look into it, to lean into this and say, what is going on here? And why did I feel that way? And how often in my life do I feel that? And how is it affecting me? And what would it look like to say no to things? What would it look like to say yes to certain things that I want to say yes to? But it was just a very telling thing. And I think with a lot of people, if they're very strong and very big in their nature, we would go along with them. We would just say yes. And, you know, some of us that have done that and got into very regrettable situations or come into agreements and things that we wish we hadn't gotten into, because this person was strong in what they said to us, and something in us came under that and backed down. And I don't want to be like that. I don't want to come under when I actually don't want to. And I think it's actually wrong. I think it's a sin to do that. And so, yeah, I think, look, if you're feeling that and relating to that you can break from that. You can break free from that. And that's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to lead into with God and really pray into, so that I can start finding ways to say no when I need to say no. And that I don't need to come under people unnecessarily. I'm not talking about leadership and things like that, where you maybe there's times that you should come under and it's safe and it's okay and good to do so. Or coming under God, of course, is good and safe. But I'm talking about situations where you don't want to and it doesn't feel right, or you feel pushed and forced like I did yesterday morning. So something to think about. Maybe you need to reclaim your no, or reclaim your sense of free agency, and come out from this default setting of being controlled.